gonna find our dialogue, go through, clip it out, which means I'm gonna make actually my timeline a little smaller. If I can, there we go. Well, can I do that? Huh. There we go. All right. I want to see both these going at once. I'm going to undock this panel and bring it up a little bigger. There, I kind of have them side by side. And I don't think there's any dialogue to...
Your instrument.
Right there. I'm going to try to zoom in on this audio a little bit. And this is just going to be a rough cut right now. If I can find my tools, where'd they go? Back here somewhere. This is what I'm talking about. The interface of Premiere is so different. All right. Don't make me... there they are. Okay. In the worst possible place. All right, I'm going to get my handy dandy razor blade, and I'm going to get this dialogue. I can see right here. Just get ready to talk.
Your
Let me back it up a little bit. I'm going to clip that. Now see, it's also clipping the video, so let's go ahead and actually unlink those, but just be very careful not to move them because they kind of need to stay synced up. There we go, unlink. So now I can just work on the audio because I want to keep the video as is. So I'm going to go back to my razor blade, clip it there.
Your instrument is quite impressive.
Now there's a little bit of silence there. I could kill that. Or I could clip it right there. It's not wanting to do it. I don't know why it's not clipping there. Or is it? Huh. Yeah, it is. Okay, it just didn't look like it was. All right, so plenty of silence. Little dialogue there. You can see the levels where they jump up is probably where the dialogue is. And I don't have to get super tight with it right now, but...
Okinawa. Okinawa no dare ga
So I definitely want to get rid of that little percussion.
Okinawa no dare ga
Where was it right there?
Okinawa.
That's going to be tricky, but we want to get rid of the percussion.
Okinawa no dare ga sona katana wo tsukutta.
Jumps in there randomly.
This is Hattori Hanzo steel.
Usotsuke.
Luckily, there's not a lot of dialogue.
Katana wa
All right, clip that. Probably, I'm just guessing at this point.
あんたも少し力が残ってるといいけどね。でなきゃ5分と見ごもたないよ。この
Ooh, they put those little things in there. we're
世の見納めとしちゃ悪くないだろ
So I've isolated a bunch of dialogue, roughly. So now I'm going to really bring it in so I can really see what I'm doing. And these little handles down here are going to be your best friend. You can really blow it up and take a look at it. I don't care about the video, so I'm going to try to get that out of my way as much as possible. So I know this is silent. I know this is dialogue. So I'm just
ど
going
こで
to
作ったんだい
start deleting my silences.
Okinawa.
Need to get rid of that eventually. But
沖縄の誰がその刀を作った
This is Hattori Hanzo steel.
嘘つけ
so I know there's no dialogue in that whole section there, so I'm going to get rid of it. We're not moving anything around yet.
How are you getting rid of it?
Just hitting delete. Just select it and delete
Select like with
with the pointer tool. So I've moved from the razor blade for this part to the pointer tool. So I've gone from that to that.
and so when it's highlighted, you can delete it.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I go through and I know this is done. I don't want to delete.
Is the recording still on?
It's going to be huge. This is good. I like to leave these questions in there because I like
刀は疲れ知らず
I leave my fumbling in
あ
there
んた
too.
も少し力が残ってるといいけどね
So I can just select and delete. I'm not sure what's going on down here. I got a little. What instrument is that? Who's the musical experts in here?
世の見納めとしちゃ
There's a lot of echo.
悪くないだろ
All right, so that's all, I'm not gonna do the whole thing. That's all I'm gonna do right now, and then I'm gonna stop the screen recording. I guess, unless anybody has any related questions for this section that we should have on this recording. Yeah. Okay. I want to focus in on one particular clip and fine tune the editing a little bit, which is this one with the little drum in it. It's got some background noise in there. If I double click using the arrow tool, my tools are over here, so my arrow's selected, then I go, I'll close this. I go back over here to clips and I select the one I want to work on because I heard that little drum sound. Oops, not that one.
どこで作ったんだい
Okinawa.
All right, so that's the one I want to focus on. I'm going to double click and the source window comes up and I can find that.
沖縄の誰が
I can find that.
その刀
Oh, it's down here now. Yeah. Oh, I've already got an in and an out selected here, which is weird. I want to get rid of those. Well.
どこで作ったんだい
Okinawa.
So that is really, really tight where you're going to want to. And I always have a hard time grabbing these arms. There we go. Grab these arms over here. Ugh. They're so hard to. There we go. And really get in there on this audio and find that drum sound. It's right there. You guys see where it is? It's got these two right here. That's the original and that's the echo of it. So there's a couple different ways I can do this. I'm going to, for this demonstration, I'm just going to do the in out if I can get back over to this, to where the in is. Yeah, there it is. I wish I could clear this so I could kind of go back through it. But do you guys remember when we were doing this with video mark in and mark out? So that's what these are right here. You might have to put some in. For some reason, I already had these in there. So I need to really zero in on that drum sound that I'm trying to get rid of. And just, now see, the more I zoom in, the even, I can go even tighter with it. And really just clip that out. And actually what I'm doing is the opposite of what I'm doing. Okay, let me start this over. It's probably in this situation, I think I just want to continue clipping in the timeline instead of bringing it into this source, because that's getting a little mixed up. So what I'm gonna do is find that.
Okinawa no dara ga so-
Find that clip again. Okay, and I'm gonna zoom in. Wait, what did I do?
Your instrument is quite impressive. Okinawa no dara ga so no kata? Doko de tsukutta n dai?
Okinawa.
I'm gonna go into that clip right there. And I'm gonna use my my handles down here to really zoom in and find that little drum sound again, which I think is right here. Yep, that's it. So as you know, as you did with the video, you can either pull it in like that and it's gone. If you know absolutely you want that thing gone forever, you go back to your razor blade and you clip it right there and just delete it. So
Okinawa.
so now we've just got the dialogue.
Okinawa.
What else do we have in there? You hear water, right? So what might be a good idea? To add, now that we have this, we have water and then silence.
Okinawa.
So maybe you could find a similar water sound or some other kind of white noise sound to sort of blend that in a little bit better. But for right now, let's not worry about that. And what I want you guys to do is go in there and clip down these clips to be super tight
Okinawa.
and get rid of anything like this whole space right here. Now that I've zoomed in on it, I can get rid of that whole space there because it doesn't have any dialogue. So I'm just going to use my razor blade. Cut it right there. Cut it right there. And delete it. So now
Doko de tsukutta n dai?
that was a little rough, but
Okinawa.
you probably don't want to cut her off like that, quite that rough. But now it's a lot more apparent the other things that are going on in the
Okinawa.
audio that besides dialogue. There's that water sound, there's that wind sound. But like I said, let's just get that dialogue cut down right now. And hopefully when all is said and done, you'll have enough things going on in the background, whether it's music or maybe a little wind, maybe a little babbling brook. Would be a good search term to look for, and you can kind of sort of get that in the background. But right now, let's clip these audio clips down to where they're pretty tight on the dialogue.
So how do we unlink our thing again from our dialogue? I mean, sound.
Where's your video?
The video is,
Is it in there still?
it should be unlinked right there. I have a hard time navigating here.
Alright, let's bring this.
Is this? What am I doing?
Pull this handle down. Okay, there. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, it is. Alright, so what's your question?
I wanted to unlink it before I was trying to
Yeah, so right click or option click
option click.
or right click, depending on the mouse. On the either the audio or the video. Click on that.
This.
Not your razor blade. Look at that, yeah. Right click on. And you should have unlink right there. Yeah. Now, just be careful not to move stuff around because you'll have to realign your dialogue.
Can you group them and then cover them as a group?
That's one question. Let's find out.
Okay.
So let's shift. Let's shift click. There you go, click. Yeah, now group. Now let's see what happens when we do the razor blade on the line. Just click somewhere down there. Hey, there you go. Alright. We just discovered something awesome. Which if you don't want, now undo what we just did. But.
So basically link as a group.
So I'm gonna screen record this real quick. We unlinked the audio and the videos so that they're not connected anymore. But we wanna keep them lined up because the dialogue's still lined up with the video. So in case you're worried about yourself moving stuff around, which you very much should be worried about that because you're all probably gonna do that. Once you have them unlinked, thanks to Jill over here, we figured this out. I'm just never. So once you have them unlinked, so you see I click on the audio, it's one thing. I click on the video, it's another thing. But if I shift click and then right click, I can group them. So they will stay now it's just that clip though, so you'd have to go in and do all your audio clips actually. So if you've already separated them, I would recommend doing this before you start breaking them out, which is probably too late for that, isn't it? Anyway, it's not that hard. Now that they're grouped, you can still move them around together and they'll stay together, they'll stay aligned, but you can also edit them separately. Did I start a screen recording there? Whereas if I cut this audio, I'm only cutting the audio and not the video, which is exactly what I want to do. Oh, but then when I go to delete, then it's grouped, so I'd have to ungroup it, I guess, then. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So then you'd have to. So it's not perfect, but I think it can help you stay aligned. Also, Command G works for that too. My screen record? Yes. We want to save a little audio clip for later and make sure that we don't lose it or it gets moved around. So this is a little clip of the water. If you select it and make sure it's unlinked and ungrouped and that you've isolated it by itself, it's not connected to anything else, and you right click, as always, and there's this thing here called Nest. which I don't know what that technically means, but what it's going to do, it's going to turn it into, you can name it if you want, it's going to turn it into this green audio clip. And then you can just click it and drag it over here. And now that's called nested sequence. And if you need it again, you just drag it back in here and you've got it.
Perfect.
So that's how you do it. That was totally a case of clicking around and guessing. So what I want to do is I got my dialogue over here, and I'm going to leave some ambient background noise right here, but I want to get rid of this horrible disco music that's in there. Nothing wrong with disco music, but yeah. So first I sliced it, and then I need to unlink it from the video because I want to keep the video. I just want to get rid of the audio. So unlink it and then delete that part. So now I've just got the dialogue. Oops, the dialogue.
Quando io non
ends.
mi oso me toscha. Waru ka na ro?
And then it just kind of has that background noise, which I might keep. I might fade it out. I don't know. But either way, I'm going to go to my desktop where I downloaded my music. And I'm just going to drag it in down there. And you notice I've got the video really small because I don't really need the video right now. I can see it up here if I need to. I can make it bigger if I want to. I need to go over here and do that if I want more space to work with, but I don't really want to mess with the video right now, so I've kind of got it squished up there at the top. Got this really big, brought my audio in there. I think maybe I want it to kind of start while she's still talking. We'll see how it sounds. So let's see that last line with the music coming in.
Non mi oso me toscha. Waru ka na ro?
That's pretty cool, right? So that can stay down. I can stay behind the whole scene if I wanted to. Now, if there was more dialogue coming up, the reason I'm doing this video is, and I wanted to bring that music down a little bit. You go in there, and what do we go for? What tool? The pen tool, correct. So we're going to be messing with this levels line here. There's other ways to adjust levels in audio, but this is the one we're doing right now. If you want to try something different, that's fine too. So we're just going to make little points, just like your pen tool in Photoshop that you just started using. And then let's say the dialogue, I don't know how many more dialogue there, but let's say we want the music to come back up here. So, and then I'm going to go back over here. I'm not going to totally fade it out, but just bring it down a little bit so you can hear the dialogue. So, and it's maybe a little lower than that. And you should probably get these straight, not like I'm going fast, so. Now there's talking, or something else. That was unexpected. So now it's going to come back up. So it's as simple as that. And you know, if my, you know, if I wanted it to completely fade out, I could do the same thing down here. Before the song is actually over, make two little points, bring it all the way out. So you would have. So it's pretty simple. Oh, stop recording. Any questions on that before I stop recording? You can do that also to sort of minimize background noise if the dialogue ends, but you don't want to completely get rid of the background noise. You can kind of just bring it down a little bit so it's not so up front. If your sound effect that you bring in has maybe some hissing or something that you don't like, you can do that the same way when, you know, when the important part is over or it's in between. You can sort of play with the levels and bring them up and down as you need to. So if you guys, hopefully, I forget about this part sometime. Hopefully you were wanting to use more than 3 audio tracks. If you need to add more going down the line here, you can't just drag audio in after it fills up. So what you want to do is go over to the, I guess they call it the toggle sync lock, which I don't even know what that means, but, and you right click and you can say add track, and you can add track down there, and then you can add another track, and you can go on and on forever and ever. Maybe, I don't know. So, and then you can just keep putting more mini audios in there as you want. So you won't run out of tracks. Look up here, Nathan, this is what, if you connect your HDMI cord to another monitor or to a TV or something, like I basically have this one coming out of the computer and it's going up to the projector, but I could be going into this monitor right here, no problem. And then you just, if it's not doing what you want it to do, sometimes it'll automatically do it. So then you could go up to here and go to screen mirroring.
Okay, and I mean, I have a
So if you,
PC, so it would screen mirroring, like, if I just
Well,
use that over the settings.
I think so. I don't know. You want me to talk about PCs?
I just,
So if you go to display settings, then you can see here, oh, that is the Epson PJ. So this is mine, and this is the projector. It's an Epson, I guess. And you can rearrange these one to be the main and one to be the other one. You can say stop mirroring, and then huh. This is different.